Namaste everyone, and welcome to the Friday Angular Light Meditation. And today we're, as most of you know, doing healing. So it's the morning one. Again, everything is in reference here in California. The morning one is emotional healing. The evening one will be prosperity healing. And this morning, we're going to work on releasing guilt. You know, a lot of people, they don't say it. Now and then they mention, oh yeah, I'd like to get rid of this because it bothers me. Or every time we're doing pranic healing or pranic psychotherapy, you see people crying and, hey, why are you crying? And they start remembering, oh yeah, I screwed up, I did this, I did that, and I have a lot of regrets, which is understandable. Okay, so let me just put that in proper context. Because a lot of people, watch movies, and you have these people, it's Hollywood, come on you guys, use little common sense here. You see people beating up people, doing stupid things, and then they go, I live with no regrets. I'm sure you can name at least 5 movies that say that, right? Come on. Don't be a dumbass. They're saying that, no regrets. Yeah, when nobody's watching, they're sitting there beating themselves up. Make sense? So this guilt is real. You just have to address it. And the idea is this. The context is very, very simple. Okay? Super, super simple. So whatever you know about it, put it aside temporarily. Listen, and let's see what happens, okay? First of all, you have to realize there's no evolution if there are no mistakes. You realize that? There's no evolution unless there are some mistakes that are done. In other words, trial and error. So, how do you learn lessons? There's only 2 ways. One, we learn it through experience, or we learn it from somebody's screw up, right? People have done all these different experiments, studies, and they say, don't do this, do this. So, you go, okay, I believe in what this person says. So what the teacher says. So it prevents you from making that mistake. So you won't have to regret anything, right? But sometimes there's no way for us to figure out what they said is actually true or not. Or you say, well, I don't know. I got 5 different opinions from 5 different teachers, 10 different opinions. So I can't really know who's right and who's wrong. Let me try it out. Then you get to make the mistake and go, oh, don't do that. Make sense? Now, when it comes to personal experiences, let's face it. None of us were physically born with a life's instruction manual. So we're going to make mistakes. I've had my share of them. Some have more, some have less. The key is to first understand that's the process the soul has to go through in order to evolve. That's a fundamental part one has to realize. Because if you're one of those people that says, well, we're perfect because we're made in the image of God, we're part of God, so we'll never screw up, then I'm going, good luck to you. You're going to need it. Life's going to hit you so hard. It's going to be like, your head's going to be like an egg trying to hit a rock and expecting the rock to break. Okay? If that's not direct enough for you, well, find another teacher. This is a complete waste of time for you. Okay? So the first thing is acknowledging I am the soul, the spiritual self, that is evolving, and this evolution involves, as my teacher says, time. This is a certain time. Because in order to go through that process of learning and mistakes, it will use time. Are you so far? So if you expect that, okay, somebody just implants a microchip with all the data of all the mistakes you've learned, and so you'll never do it again, I wish, but we're not there yet. Okay, maybe one of these decades, whatever, it's possible, but for now, not yet. So the key again is back to what is, I am the soul, the spiritual self. This is the process of evolution, and it'll involve a certain amount of time to get through it, and not everything I do is going to be right. It's either we were affected by people's thoughts and emotions, it's either we're affected by our biases. Any of those could happen. So the key is to first realize, yes, mistakes will happen. Okay? That's one. And realize that this is part of my growing up. We just hope that at that moment, when you're living in that present moment, that when we're growing up, several things are happening. Number one, we get to realize it early enough so the damage is not bad enough. That's part one. Part two, that if we already messed up, that we get to realize, oh, that was wrong. I shouldn't do that again. So regret and remorse are actually important. You know, you're going to read books, and I've seen a few of them saying, okay, no wonder these people are just making people suffer. No, you should not have any regrets. You should not have any remorse. You know, you should get over it. Everything should be just fine, and don't think about it. I believe in the part of moving on, but to actually have no remorse, good luck, buddy. Try doing that in a relationship. You say sorry to someone, and they don't see an ounce of remorse, you can kiss forgiveness goodbye. Okay? It's simple as that. Now, to ourselves, you're just basically lying to yourself. You just say, okay. Anyway, it's part of growing up. I've messed up, and let me look at these mistakes. Okay, what? And here's the key. You have to rise from the emotions to the mental faculty. See, you have a physical body. You have an emotional body called the astral body. You have a mental body. It's like having 3 computers, 3 machines. And the way these 3 machines work is as simple as this. Okay? When your consciousness is so much in the physical body, the emotional body, mental body are almost dormant. When the emotional body is so intense, so emotional, the mental faculty takes a back seat. Have you ever tried to reason when somebody's emotionally upset? No matter how much logic you give them, they're like, I don't care. I've talked to some people like that. No matter how much you explain it, look, this happened because of this, because of this. I mean, you cannot be any player taking a big chalkboard and say, 1 + 1 ain't 300. It's 2. They look at it like, I don't care. It's still 300. You get the point? So, if the emotional body is going crazy, the mental faculty is like, I better shut up. Now, there lies the secret. So, if you understand this ahead of time, if you're feeling regret, remorse, and it's really taking over, the key is not to dive in there further and say, how do I get rid of it? How do I stop it? It's not going to work. It's acting, putting kerosene on fire. The way to do it is step back. Here we go again. Step back. I'm the spiritual self. I'm the soul. I'm creating this negative emotion right now. This is not the I. This is part 1. But you don't stop there. And you immediately go high in frequency. Let me look at this objectively. All right. This happened because of this, because of this. All right. Step 1. Was that a mistake? Oh, yeah. No kidding. Step 2. How do I prevent this from happening again? Step 3. What can I do so that this doesn't come up again? You see, try explaining that to yourself when you're emotionally exploding. Good luck with that, right? It's just like somebody screaming, yelling, and going crazy. And you say, come on, you stupid jerk. No wonder this is happening because you did this. They're going to go, wah. What do? You calm them down. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be right. You know, I know, pour something cold water on them, whatever you want to do. In other words, this is what in LP they say, change your state. So what people don't realize, change your state is as simple as this. Change your state means the emotional body is going crazy. So you somehow have to shift the frequency so that the mental body wakes up. So when the mental body wakes up, this transitional time of emotional body to mental body allows the person to observe. That interim time is what you call pattern interrupt. If you've ever been to Tony Robbins' event, I've seen this before, like a person, like he's trying to help someone who's suicidal or someone who's going through a lot of anger and pain, and this person just wouldn't shut up. Yeah, but you don't say, wah, 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 wah. And suddenly he just does something really wild, like, I don't know, like, what would happen if you fell off a cliff and you started flying in the air? And the person goes, it just comes out of nowhere, right? And in one of the therapy sessions, he was saying that this person won't keep repeating the negative crap she's going through. So he got, don't do this, got a glass of water, splashed it in her face. And of course, what would the person do? Number 1, there's a shock. And then the person would start thinking, what's going on? Why is my face wet? How come this? How come, you know what happened was it went from the emotional body to the mental body. Get the idea? So this can be easily seen if you understand it from the viewpoint of the soul. You can study 1,000 psychology books, go to 1,000 therapists. This process is all being done with you or for you by these therapists in the background. Make sense? So if you just step back, okay, I look at that 5 years ago when I did that stupid thing, and okay, what exactly happened? Well, she said this, and I didn't think about it. I just opened my stupid big mouth, and I yelled this at her. No wonder she was pissed, and it broke up. Oh man, it was my fault. But at that time, was that going through your mind? No. What was going through that? Oh yeah, you said this. Yeah, this. What happened? Your emotional body took over. Simple as that. Oh, but you don't understand my situation. Exactly. I don't understand. You know why? Because there's nothing to understand. The emotional body went crazy. You gave it control, and that is that. Now, if you want to keep dwelling on that, well, can't help you. You see, everything starts from your center. Everything starts that you are the spiritual self. You are the soul. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it. We're going to say that we meet again in a few more lifetimes. I'll keep saying the same thing. Because that was the most valuable lesson my teacher ever taught me. Literally like, yes, whatever is happening outside of the spiritual self. If you get that down first, is that if you're able to anchor that in your conscience, I am the mover of the body, I am the creator of the feelings, creator of the thoughts, everything happening outside, good or bad, positive or negative, are all creations, fabrications of the spiritual self. Either the movement of the body, rousing of the emotions, or creating of the thoughts. Once you realize that, then you go, okay, let's look at this guilt thing. Number one, was it a mistake? Yep, total screw up. Okay, don't do that. Number two, do I want it to happen again? No. Okay, so what are the things I can do to mitigate it? Make sense? I know what you guys are saying. Yeah, but that is so clinical. You know, it's not looking. It's like a laboratory. It is. Life is a laboratory where the soul learns lessons. Will you burn your finger a few times now and then when you're in the lab? Yeah. Would things explode? Hopefully not. If they do, little ones. So as you observe it, you go, okay. Yeah, at that time I was terrible. I yelled at my mom. I was pissed off. It was a mistake. Okay, what can I do? First, it was a mistake. I acknowledge that. Number two, how do I prevent it from happening again? Number three, how do I make it up? And then you just formulate a plan and you go for it. I know that sounds simple, but that's exactly what you would do if you're giving advice to someone. Right? When somebody, unless you want to make them worse while they're crying, go, yeah, I know, man, I understand your feeling of pain. I went through that. And you go through that with them for the next 10 hours. Good luck with that. Yeah, but I'm being empathic. Look, I'll be very direct with you. Being empathic is good, but to enable their crap is bad. Write it down. Tattoo it to your brain. Being empathic is good. You feel someone's pain. You want to help them. But to enable them and by extending that emotional body being the boss, you're making them worse. But if you're a counselor, you want long-term clients, that's the way to do it. Keep them on the leash for the next 20, 30 years, charge them $1 gajillion each session. Then I have to question what is your motive. If you truly want to help someone, the key is upliftment. When people say upliftment, they just say, oh, I just want to feel better. Good luck with that. That's not going to last. That's not going to last. Upliftment is if they're swimming the emotional mud, pull them out into the mental world and pull them up to the spiritual world. So when they see it from the spiritual world, from the level of the soul, they go, let me see. If I look back the last 20 years, yep, I know there seemed to be a pattern. I always, whatever. All this comes from because I have low self-esteem. So when I do these stupid things, it's because it's trying to heal that wound that I'm not good enough. Okay, so right there and then, you diagnosed it. You're not going to diagnose it when you're swimming an Olympic lap in the emotional world. Is that direct enough for you? I know some of you guys thinking like, this is so cerebral, it's so mental. It's about emotions. You have to feel it. You're right. The part of the feeling is to just simply identify what's going on. Right? If you look at a scientist, they identify the problem. They formulate a hypothesis. They formulate possible solutions. Your parents, it's this, it's that. Before you know it, what happens? Just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you've just created an emotional monster within you. You just keep giving it, just feeding, here, have some more, have some more. And later on you go, I can't help it, controls me. You fed it. You went from a tiny baby, you made a ginormous adult. Are we communicating here? So it's not like I'm saying I'm blaming you. I'm letting you understand. Again, moving from the emotional body to the mental body and to be able to observe it and be objective. Once you get that part, the solution is simple. I didn't say easy. It's simple. So here's what you do. You already understood it. Okay, that was a mistake. I shouldn't do that. Now, next thing is, what do I do about it? And how do I keep doing it? Make sense? Now, all we probably figured that out. Now, here's what I have to offer you. Shortcut. In other words, instead of having it take so long and trying to pull that junk out of your system, you use energy. That's usually what the shortcut is. Because now we understand that emotion, that guilt, that anger is something we created. Right? What is it made of? Paper? Wood? Metal? What is it? Oh, it's just energy. Okay. Step one. If I can create it, can I stop creating it? Ooh, brilliant. Give the guy a medal. Yes. So stop doing it. Right? I remember I was at the Tony Robbins event about 3 years ago in Abu Dhabi. And there was someone there who was going through a lot of emotional pain. And I was talking to him and, he asked me for help. So before I did the healing, I just talked to him. I said, so what's going on? So he went, he sent through this whole thing. And then he asked me, what should I do? I go, stop. And he goes, that's simple, huh? And then he goes, yeah, that makes sense. And later on, Tony asked for some feedback, right? And he raised his hand, he told the whole story. And then while he's going through it, so Tony goes, so what did Master Ko say? He said, stop. He goes, he's right. Stop. Which is what NLP calls break the pattern. Because sometimes we overthink something, like, oh yeah, we overanalyze it and mix with all these emotions. And when the simple thing is like, off. Right? Off. So first, you identified it. You say, okay, I'm not going to create it anymore. Next, and here's the part that makes a difference. Listen carefully. While most traditions would say, okay, we stop doing that emotional, whatever, drama thingy. Now let's focus on creating a more compelling, beautiful future. Which is good. It's perfect. I love it. You have this stuff. Stop feeding it. Let's create something better so that we will focus on this one now. It works. Now, what is the shortcut? Here's the shortcut. While most traditions focus on this, which is good, oftentimes they forget there's a ball and chain of the past that's still locked in and chained to your aura. Partially chained to the soul. Chained to the soul. So if you focus on all this, I'm going to make it better, blah, 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 so on and so on. If you don't get rid of this ball and chain, yes, you will go forward. But it's just like you're moving forward and you're constantly being pulled back. Yeah, but I was a total screw up then. So, and then, but no, that's in the past. I'm going to do this better. Before you know it, things are finally better. My relationship's getting better. And then that little voice tells you, how do you know you're not going to screw it up again? Sounds familiar? So if you don't get rid of this first, or simultaneously, that journey is going to be like climbing Mount Everest. You'll get there because you're good people, you have strong will. So what does energy work have to offer you? What does pranic healing have to offer you? What we have to offer you that you can use right away? Using energy to disintegrate the old energy, and using the same energy to feed the positive energy. Can it make it simpler? No. That's as basic as it gets. Whatever you don't want, get rid of it, disintegrate it so it doesn't affect you anymore. So when you're climbing Mount Everest, it won't feel like climbing Everest. It'll just feel like walking in the park. At least that's the goal. And here's the beauty of the entire thing. You can use this for any part of your life. That's why in the deep emotional healing, deep emotional transformation program that we have, we go through it. Everything from low self-esteem to guilt to anger to anxiety to grief. All that, we just basically give you 4 or 9 sessions and just pounding it. Just kind of literally take a sledgehammer, keep breaking it up and shoveling it out to break it up from the past. Make sense? And create the compelling future you want and just keep feeding it energy. Same thing with the Prosperity Zen program we did. What did we do with that one? Same thing. First, identify what are these poverty consciousness thoughts and ideas we have. Either we generated or somebody put it in our system. Doesn't matter. It's just energy. As you understand, it's just energy. You're able to step back. These are just thoughts and emotions. These are just fabrications. So you distribute that negative energy, and whatever you want, you feed it. Okay? Anyway, that's the context of it. Now, some of you go, yeah, shut up already, let's do it. Just because you said that, I'm not going to. Because if you don't understand the context of it, of what it is and why we're doing it, even if we do it with you now, a few weeks later, a few months later, when something else happens, you'll forget it because you don't have practice. Right? You don't have, and then because that practice comes from solid context. That's why I want to make sure you understand up here. Because once you understand it, once a situation presents itself, you'll be able to see, this is what's happening. I got drowned in that emotional garbage that this person dumped on me, and that's why I said those things, I acted that way. All right. Got it. From there you go, now I will apply. Disintegrate these negative thoughts and negative emotions, create the energy I want, and just put my attention there. Without this understanding, you just say, okay, man, just guide me through it, we'll do it. Later on, something else shinier comes out. You read something in the internet. By the way, if you buy this like $quadrillion crystal, you super glue it to your armpit, and you'll be enlightened. You'll never have a problem again. You'll believe it. Because you didn't understand. Okay? Because I've had some people comment, yeah, you talk too much, just do it. You know what I have to say to that? Whatever. That's that. In other words, whatever. That's it. So, now we apply it. Let's work on guilt. Guilt, like any negative emotion or positive emotion, is just energy. That's the first premise that you have to accept. You don't accept it, you might as well turn this off. No matter how intense that negative emotion is, or positive energy, positive emotion, they're just frequencies of energy. It's just looking out in the ocean. No matter how big the wave is, no matter how calm it is, it's just water. You understand what I'm talking about? You're standing there, you're looking, okay, wow, people are surfing, big wave. Oh, it's calm, I could see myself look in the mirror. It's so serene. It's water. Okay? That alone, you get to step back and understand. By the way, I know some of you are saying, you're talking too fast, I don't catch it. Well, that's why we leave it there for you guys to rewind. Okay? So stop complaining. All right, let's continue. If you keep complaining, I'll charge you. I'll charge you X amount of dollars or rupees or bitcoins or whatever, so you guys will listen and practice. Because sometimes when you give stuff for free, people don't value it. Anyway, whatever. Not my problem. Okay. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, personally to my teacher, Master Hoksui Mahaguju Mailing, we thank you for divine light, divine love. Thank you for your guidance, help, healing, and divine protection. Thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for the understanding. Thank you for blessing us with a loving heart, an intelligent mind, and a powerful will that we may be of service to others. We thank you in full faith, and so it is. All right. So, before we do the actual meditation Twin Hearts, actually we'll reserve that for tonight. We'll just do a short one because we kind of went a little slightly overtime and I started a little bit late. What we're going to do, we'll do the I am affirmation to just give you the deeper realization that you're the one who has the ability to create or not create your future. Okay? Now, it'd be highly recommended that you have saltwater bucket next to you, that we throw the dirty energy in. But for some of you who just joining us and you forgot or whatever, for now, just imagine a beautiful violet fire. So it's either your saltwater bucket or fire. Now, in the future, or if you're going to join us for the second session, the saltwater bucket is easier. You should have to think about it. You don't want to be going, I wonder if that fire's still going. Right? So, ready? Gently tap your heart center, tap your crown. Put your hand like this. We'll do the I am affirmation as taught to us by my teacher, Grandmaster Hoksui. Just be aware of your crown. I am that. I am not the body. I'm not any of my emotions. I'm not any of my thoughts. I am the soul. I am that spiritual self. I am that. I'm the creator of my thoughts and my emotions. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence to regulate my mind. I am a spiritual being of divine love to regulate my emotions. I am a spiritual being of divine power and will to regulate the movements of my body. That is my true nature. I am that. The soul. Just leave your attention on the crown. Be still. I am that. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am that. The Atma, the higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spark, the divine spirit in me. I am a child of God. We're all growing and evolving. I am one with God. I am one with all. That is my true essence. I am one within the universal ocean of consciousness. I am that. Just be still. I am that. That am I. It is. Be still. Just be still. Let go. Experience your true self, a being of pure energy, devoid of emotion, thoughts, or any physical sensation. Experience your real self, just pure energy and consciousness. I am that. That am I. Be still. Allow your awareness to drift deeper into your real self. Just be receptive. Maintain your stillness. Maintain your state of oneness. Just be still. Now in front of you, you see a white screen, like a movie screen. Recall a situation, recall the time, or recall the feelings of guilt and remorse that you want to release from your system. Play it out on that screen like a movie, and just be the observer. You're just watching a movie. It is the soul that is watching. Maintain your awareness that you are the spiritual self observing. Just observe it. What happened? What went on? Just watch it like watching a movie, somebody else's life. Alright? Maintain your awareness of who you are. Just keep observing it. Just keep playing out that movie. Now, raise both hands. Grab that movie screen with two hands. Pull it off, whatever it is, on the wall, or just pull it out of the air. Crumple it. Move your hand. Move your hand. Now go like this. Don't worry, it won't go away. Just open your eyes. Say, these are not the I. These negative thoughts, these negative emotions, these are not me. These are not that. I created it, but they have no power over me anymore, ever. These are not the I. Go like this, say cut, disconnect. Now, just imagine throwing that ball of crap into the salt water of the wildfire and say disintegrate, 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 cut, and release. Now just be still. I am the soul. I am the spiritual self. I am a being of pure energy and light. That is my true nature. I am that. Now just be still. Let's do it again. Visualize the white movie screen, like, you know, when you sit at movies waiting for it to play. You know, it's a big white screen. There's a big white screen in front of you. Replay the same thing. I know some of you say, I kind of don't remember much of it. Just force yourself. We'll explain all this to you. Just imagine playing that movie. A feeling of guilt. You're still beating yourself up. A mistake that you made so many years ago, or just recently. Things that you just say, oh, I should have known better. I should have known better. Whatever it is, played out on the screen. If you're not the visualizing type, just have the screen in front of you and just do your best. Imagine a gray cloud on it to represent whatever that negative emotion and thoughts are. Just observe. Keep repeating, I am the soul. I am the spiritual self. Observing this. I am the soul. I am the spiritual self. Observing this. Just keep playing it a movie. Just watching it. It's playing. Just observe it. All right. Raise your hands. Grab that screen from the wall or mid-air. Pull it towards you. Crumple it to a small ball. You know, like crumple it like this. Okay. Say, these thoughts, these emotions, these are not me. These are not the I. I created them. I fabricated them, but these are not me. They have no power over me now or ever. Cut and disconnect. Just move your hand with force. Cut and disconnect. Now take that lump of crap and throw in the salt water of wildfire. Say disintegrate, disintegrate, disintegrate. Cut, release, and disconnect. Release. So be it. Now be aware of your crown. I am the soul. I am the spiritual self. I am the creator of my thoughts, my emotions, and the movements of my body. I am that. I, the soul, am in complete control over my body, my emotions, and thoughts. So it is. Now, look up. With your eyelids closed, imagine a beautiful golden screen in front of you. Same thing, like a movie, but this time it's different. Big, ginormous golden screen. Now picture yourself happy, joyful, being content. Whatever is that positive emotion you want as your future. Some of you could use this as a way to replace what you got rid of. To each your own. Go. See it clearly as much as you can. The ones who are not very visual, just know it's there. And just, what would you feel when this is already happening? What would it be like? Just ask the question. How would I feel when I'm this happy? How would I feel when things are going my way? How would I feel when all these good things are happening already? What will go through my mind? How would I feel? Now feel it. Now at this point, you're not just watching the movie, you are in the movie. So as you're observing it, you're watching it, it's getting brighter and brighter. Smile. Come on, you guys. When you smile, the edges of your lips go up. Experience it. And just imagine golden light just pouring into it. This image is getting brighter and brighter, and just all this beautiful golden light pouring into it. And just say, with God's blessing, so be it. Say it again. With God's blessing, so be it. Or with the blessing of the universal spirit, so be it. With God's blessing, with the blessing of God and all the higher beings, so be it, so be it, so it is. Thank you. Okay, open your eyes. That's just a super short version. How do you feel? How's that guilt thingy? Be honest, you're not doing this for me. So how does it compare now to when you just started, when I asked you to feel? What did it feel like? It's just energy. You already extracted the lesson, so why swim in the mud? Right? Now, listen carefully. Ask yourself a simple question. For how long of an extended time were we continually thinking or feeling this old stuff? So, I don't know. I can't really quantify. Well, if you add up all the minutes, the hours that you sat there and go, whatever. Add it all up. Let's say it happened 30 years ago. I don't know, 5 years ago. If you add it up, how much do you think it is? A lot. So you really think, realistically, in 10 minutes, all of those are gone. I wish. I mean, it could happen. You know, it depends on how much energy you use, right? It could happen. But I wouldn't bet on it. So the smart thing to do is really just keep chopping it down. So you see, a lot of you will feel like, yeah, it's gone. It's quiet. I don't feel it anymore. Great. So you know it works. Then we're just going to go in and get the next layer and the next layer. And that's what the routine or the ritual comes in. Why does every culture have rituals? Because rituals give an ordinary person, with or without skills or background, a standard operating procedure. If you're dealing with this, do this. And then what? Do it again. And then what? Do it again. And then what? Do it again. So that's why we made it so simple for you. Right? You notice we just did it that was like 10 minutes. And most of you are already thinking, what? How could that be true? How could that work? It's so quiet. You can do this for anything. All right? So again, we're leaving this video here. You can do it as many times as you like. That's the context of it. Now, let me just do this. The deep emotional transformation. That's already on. You go to mastercode.org. And also the Prosperity Zen. They both use the same technique. Of course, one is like focus more for prosperity. One is more for emotional release. All right? So what we're doing is this. The Prosperity Zen is, you have 4 sessions or 9 sessions. We go into releasing a lot of this old poverty consciousness thought, conscious and subconscious. And you'd be surprised. I didn't think I had that poverty consciousness, whatever. And then as you keep digging, suddenly what? It goes like that. So that's closing this Sunday. Just want to let you know. Because a lot of you have signed up already and I hope you're practicing. Okay? And then the deep emotional transformation, which we did last year. Afterwards, we turn it off. Now it's starting again. So there's a gap where it overlaps this week. Now, we're doing something as a bonus. It's supposed to be this Saturday. We'll move it to next Saturday. So we're doing a live session with the ones who signed up. And that live session is we're going to go in addition to the 4-week or the 9-week session that you signed up for. This live session will just give you some, quick tips on how to even make that work faster for you. And then we'll do a deep meditation and we'll take out a big old bulldozer to give you another extra boost to your practice. Okay, that's next Saturday. For the ones who signed up for it, for the deep emotional transformation that's happening next Saturday, the what do you call it, the bonus lesson, that's what you have. So go to mastercode.org if that's of any interest to you. All right? Now, tonight, when we do the prosperity healing, we're going to use the same context. And guess what we're working on? I know we've done this a few times before. We're going to do it again. Conscious or subconscious feeling, thoughts of unworthiness to be successful. I know some of you go, oh, I don't have that. Hey, just watch Price is Right. If you have that in your country. Somebody wins, somebody wins a little bag. Yeah, they're just like, they're on top of the world. I'm going, you won a bag that's $25. You're going crazy. And I look at them, they're wearing a nice shirt or dress, and looks like they're, decently well off. Maybe they're wearing a nice watch. I'm thinking, you're going crazy over a $25 bag, which you could easily go out and buy. And then, as the thing progresses, something comes out. When they're on stage, yeah, they're happy. And then, whoever's interviewing, yeah, how do you feel? I feel great. I'm ready to make lots of money and blah, blah, whatever, right? And you can tell they're very excited. And then here's the key. Then they blurt out the secret of why they're feeling that way. I've never won anything in my life. I don't think they don't say the word worthy, but they just say, I didn't think that I could ever win anything. There you go. Ding! You found it. Unworthiness to be successful. Unworthiness to be prosperous. For a lot of us, that is the seed. That's why some of you, at your job, you're making this much money per week, per month, per hour. In your mind, you already have this cap of how much you can make. Like an artificial ceiling your consciousness created. So in your mind, that's as high as I can go. Either because you've seen other people do that, or in your mind, well, my dad only made this much, my mom only. So pretty much, I worked hard enough, that's what I get. Guess what? Just like we did before, the guilt, the remorse, or whatever these negative energies, feelings, they're just fabrications of the self or the soul. Get that? So a lot of people, once they destroy that, literally disintegrate that, they go, why should I limit myself to how many millions a year? Why not more? Get the idea? You see, that little technique is so ridiculously simple, but for many people, just extracting that subconscious old thought from that sitting in your basic chakra opens up a whole new world. In fact, from the Prosperity Zen, we have a lot of feedback. Some people have said, yeah, I've been working on this deal for the longest time. They're a salesperson, right? They're working on this big contract. Nothing's moving. But when I did that session, suddenly the thing opened up. I signed this, whatever, multi, whatever amount of money contract. And I look at it, nothing changed. The only thing changed was my thinking. I mean, you can sit there and break it down and say, well, you see, because if you have all these old negative thoughts, negative emotions, and lack of self-worth and lack of self-esteem that you don't deserve to be successful, the person you're negotiating would feel it. That's part of it. Another part of it is, just imagine, and I'll end with this. Even though that person wanted to be successful, the old created thought forms that's sitting in the aura of unworthiness and not deserving of success is literally sitting like a gray cloud right in front of them. So even though they want to be successful, it's like they keep pushing against a freight train that's going their way. But as soon as they remove it, guess what? Takes off. Because now their creativity opens. Now the possibility of it opens. Was that Tony Robbins or someone who said, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I thought about it like, what an amazing question. Okay? Think about that. And by removing these old thought forms, you get to know what are your true strengths and the possibilities that are available for you. So, yeah, the ones on Instagram, I apologize. I think connection, whatever, it paused, so you can just Go to Facebook or go to YouTube, go to mastercode.org, panicking.com to rewatch it, rewind it, whatever. And that's one of the reasons why we broadcast it everywhere, so people can say, oh, I didn't learn the lesson, I didn't see it. Okay. You know my answer to that, right? Because you didn't want to. Because if you truly want something, what happens? You move heaven and earth to get there. And that has always been one of the things I really believe what's stopping most people from being successful. They give up too easily. They'd rather complain than work hard. I've been trained by my teacher. Basically, you want to be successful? Move your ass. Okay, that's my closing lesson. Move your ass. Or your donkey, whatever you want to call that animal, that beast. Namaste, everyone. Oh, let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, to my beloved and respected teacher, Grandmaster Tuakok Sui Mahagu Jumeling, we thank you for your immense blessings. We thank you in full faith. And so it is. All right. I think that was a productive session. We appreciate all your comments. And the ones in Instagram, I can't read while I talk. I'm not as talented as some people. So I get a glimpse of some of the things you say. So if you don't mind, just leave me some comments after the thing shuts off. Go ahead and let me know how you feel, if you liked it, if you feel better, or whatever. Namaste, take good care, and we'll see you in 7 hours, a little less than 7 hours. Take good care.